Music is life, you don't know. And I'm all set and ready to blow. I got some places out there I wanna see. It's gonna be irate, yeah. So put your hand in the air just for me. I want it up for the world to see, 'cause I wanted you and me's a fire. I'll bring the flame. It's gonna be irate, yeah. Boom, this is Mr. Nye, and you're listening and watching SAT Telecoms. Boom!
Welcome to SAT TV's news. I am Shanna Esprit, your presenter. In our top stories, Dominicans urged to be law-abiding citizens. Former minister regains a seat in Trinidad's by-election. U.S. man abandoned in U.S. jail gets $4 million in compensation. And in sports, Barbados teams win first match in inaugural CPL. Details of these will follow. Welcome back. A mental health and substance abuse workshop conducted by the Ministry of Health led an official ceremony on Wednesday, July 31st at the Occupational Therapy Building. The ongoing workshop began 2 weeks ago with 2 more sessions to be completed. This workshop trains healthcare workers and helps them to understand and make a diagnosis of individuals who abuse substances and drugs. Ms. Jacinta Barnes, Director of the National Drug Abuse Prevention Unit, said the workshop has been part of the Pan-American Health Organization's biannual work plan for over 2 years. This series of workshops will provide significant information to healthcare professionals and workers on how to address mental health and substance abuse, she noted.
The mental health team, the National Drug Abuse Prevention Unit, and the Health Promotion Research Center have collaborated to deliver a highly professional workshop tailored to meet the needs of our stakeholders. And I must say to you that this workshop could be a workshop organized by the World Health Organization or any other regional or international body. And I must say hats off to the presenters who did a very, very good job at presenting the topics to our stakeholders. The following topics were carefully selected. We looked at the situational analysis in health, and when you look at the data on what is happening in our schools, what is happening in our community, it can be very alarming.
Survey reports on substance abuse in schools conducted have shown that children begin to experiment with drugs at an early age. Social worker Ms. Leslie Ann Waldron presented a situation analysis on mental health and drug abuse. Ms. Waldron said it is a fact that we experience normal stress in our everyday lives. However, we need to find other ways to cope with stress without breaking down. Young people who have been exposed to some sort of exploitation in their older years tend to abuse illegal substances to cope, she stated.
Now we're going to look a bit of the situation in Dominica. Here we have a chart showing the distribution of patients within our districts. At the psychiatric unit, we have the community mental health team. What we do every week, we go out to each of the districts where we see our patients. In each district, we have an active register of the patients we see. Our largest district, which we expect, is Roseau, and we have other districts such as Marigot and St. Joseph being smaller. However, according to the National Association of Substance Abuse, we're seeing that worldwide, at least 10 to 12% of the general population of mentally ill patients are substance abusers.
In Dominica, at least 8 to 9% of our patients within each district are substance abusers. It is hoped that the workshop will reduce the use of substance abusers throughout the island. In more news, the Lubia Reunion Committee is very excited about the planning of events and activities that have been drafted thus far. At the launching of the event that took place on Wednesday, July 31st at the Lubia Resource Center, Ronald Charles, chairman of the committee, said, "Lubia is one of the villages that have always been overshadowed by other communities.
But there is more to Lubia than meets the eye. So we are hoping that Lubia Reunion 2014 will serve to bring out some of the hidden information from Lubia.
The objectives of this reunion are to reunite Lubiarians locally and in the diaspora, to foster unity and understanding among residents, and to stimulate economic activity in the community." Pertaining to the level of the work done by the organizing committee, Mr. Charles said a lot has been accomplished so far.
The management committee is in place. Planning and discussion started as early as January 2013. We have not gone public early, or we did not go public earlier because we figured out that we needed something to share with the public. So we took some time in putting things in place. Things has been slow, but has really picked up. We've been meeting every fortnight. We have a draft program, a template of the activity that we want to develop. We have put together a budget. We have identified potential sponsors and contributors both within and without the community.
They have also completed the first series of community mobilization, established a Facebook page, had an audience with Discover Dominica Authority and a potential major sponsor. Many activities will be celebrated throughout the reunion in 2014, including the official opening and gospel festival, youth pageant, sports and calypso, oldies dance, and Journée Guamoun, as well as other activities.
We have some challenges along the way. The human resource. We have people who want the activity, they desire the activity, but to commit themselves at that very early stage, we have some challenges along that line. So the management committee, we have picked up a lot of those things there, but we are hoping that by the time we get, say, into the last 9 months or so, also 9 months, 6 months, we have more people coming on board and assist in putting that together.
The reunion is expected to commence on July 24th to August 4th under the theme Celebrating Our Community, Come Back to Our Roots. In other news, a new loan facility has been launched by the National Cooperative Credit Union. Aylmer Irish, Chief Executive Officer of NCCU, gives more details.
Okay, the Board of Directors approved a special agricultural loan facility of some $500,000 to provide funding to our members and those who plan to get involved in the farming of non-banana crops. Among the objectives for establishing this special facility are: one, creating employment, that is self-employment, and employment for the service providers, those persons who would assist the farmers, ensure food security.
Mr. Irish said that very often there is a scarcity of various agricultural produce in Dominica.
In fact, most recently, my visit to St. Kitts, a number of persons were indicating how the mixed Dominican produce on the shelf. The funds are expected to assist the farmers in the purchasing of inputs to meet or defray labor expenses and purchase planting materials.
For a member to benefit from the facility, he or she is expected to be in possession of a portion of land suitable for agricultural production.
And in that regard, we expect the farmers to work closely with farmers groups and DAPEX, which is the marketing company. The board also established other terms and conditions. The loans maximum will be $10,000. There will be a concessionary interest rate of 6.5% on the reducing balance.
Members will also be provided with a delay payment of their installment, which will be dependent on the crop and the amount of time required from planting of that crop. According to Mr. Irish, the maximum payment period is 2 years, and the farmers are expected to obtain recommendations from the extension officers. The objective of this new loan facility is to enhance the quality of life of the members. The new facility is open to the public, and the members can visit any of the 5 branches of the NCCU to inquire. With a rise in prosecution for crimes and criminal activities, one senior police officer is calling on Dominicans to ensure they stick to the character of law-abiding citizens. Police Prosecutor Inspector Claude Weeks says this means we all need to conform to the rules of society so the country functions properly. He noted when we are ignorant to the law, we build dysfunctional families and institutions, making it a very difficult society to live in.
It is important that we follow the law. We are good citizens. The reason for that as well is if we're not law-abiding, it adversely affects, for example, foreign investors. Foreign investors may well want to come to invest in the Commonwealth of Dominica. And if we are behaving inappropriately, if we are not behaving according to the law, if we're not conforming to the rules, it means therefore perhaps people may not want to invest here. We can apply the same for local investors, our local entrepreneurs, our shopkeepers. If people are stealing, if people are burglarizing homes, shops, business places, that too can severely affect the society.
If the institutions and the people do not work in compatibility with each other, we will have a failing society. I am very much concerned about our youth, as there are many of them engaged in negative activities. However, there are some who seek to do well and uplift the country in terms of social economic development, Weeks added. The inspector explained that defects in parenting also contribute to the attitude and behavior of our young people, which is often affected out in the public domain.
We can't allow the society to go haywire. We can't let it go out of alignment. It has to remain on an even keel so that the old, the young, the in-between can enjoy life, and the life of the people in the communities will be enhanced. So if people are not obeying the law, you're going to find a lot of difficulties, and that does not augur well for the future socio-economic development and as well as spiritual development of the nation. Dominica is a wonderful country. It is strategically, geographically placed, and as such we must relish and love what God has given us.
It is important that the law is obeyed regardless of who you are, where you work, or your age. The laws are there to guide its citizenry, and no country can operate without them.
I think we have a wonderful country. I think we are the managers, we are the stewards of what God has given us, and the time is ripe for us to redefine our minds and the mindsets, a renewing of the mind with respect to developing our country. It's not an issue of the blame game. We seek to blame each other all the time. But it's not about the blame game. Of course, there will be differences. We expect differences in the society. We're only human beings. But at the end of the day, it has to be managed. It has to be governed in such a way that all of us can benefit from it and will be edified.
Whether it is the common man on the street or the prominent individual, they all need to stay away from crime, he added. whether drug trafficking, sexual offenses, or human trafficking, as it does not demonstrate well of the individual or the nation.
No matter what your calling in is life, no matter what your status is in life, and if the laws are breached, it means therefore you would expect that there are consequences when the laws are breached. You know by now every citizen, and that is clearly, eloquently stipulated in the Constitution, that a man is innocent until proven guilty. But at the end of the day, the police must carry out investigations. People expect to be charged with the respective offenses, provided that there are reasonable grounds to effect the charges, to bring about the charges. And it's for the prosecution to prove its case beyond a reasonable doubt in the circumstances. But we would expect that if the laws are breached, no matter what form of criminality, we would expect that the relevant course of action operating within the parameters of the law expected to be taken by the relevant authorities, in this case law enforcement or law enforcement agencies.
No one is above the law. If we are not addressing the issues as it relates to a crime, it would be a travesty of justice, and justice must be met at all times. We cannot live in fear, therefore all police officers have the duty to protect the country's citizens, he concluded. In other stories, normal business operations were disrupted today due to a fire which occurred on Great George Street in Roseau on Wednesday, July 31st. A barber shop owned by a Haitian national was aflame when fire officials rushed to the scene. Many businesses were without electricity for hours due to this occurrence. SAT TV will bring you an update as soon as it becomes available. In more stories, the first domestic insurance company presented a number of individuals with scholarships on Wednesday, July 31st. With a firm belief in education, for the past 15 years, they have been sponsoring students as a means to change their circumstances and the world around them. We also provide educational opportunities for our staff, and this year we have one of our staffers as a recipient for a scholarship, said Human Resource Manager of FDIC, Ms. Kay Robinson. This year, 11 persons were presented with scholarships, with 3 being new scholarships holders.
And that would be Koan Lockhart, who is going to the St. Mary's Academy. Koan. So let me just quickly do the presentation because I have to hold that. Do the presentation. Okay. So I'll have Miss Moranci to do the presentation on behalf of. And now we have Megan Anthony. And the recipient of the staff scholarship is going to be Miss Kimberly Roy for her daughter Adesha. Sorry.
Ms. Robinson explained the scholarships recipients must maintain an average of over 65% in order for them to keep their scholarship, in addition to positive reports and no suspensions. Some of the recipients are Janelle John Baptist, Nima Hector, Chad Dennis, Kadim John, and Celia Xavier. Ms. Robinson advised the students to keep working hard to bring home much better results than the previous year. In other stories, 5 individuals received special recognition at the Golden Drum Award ceremony presented by the National Cultural Council and the Division of Culture, held at the Arawak House of Culture on Tuesday, July 30th. The special recognition awards presented by the Honorable Minister of Culture, Youth and Sports, Mrs. Justina Charles, went to Denison King Dice Joseph for the development of Calypso, Lennox Alexander for the development and promotion of steel pan music, Nadira Lando for carnival pageantry, Birdie Phillip for the preservation of traditional dance, and Cedric Phillip for the development and promotion of choral music.
Paying the ultimate compliment to his legendary songwriter Pat Aaron and distinguishing himself as the only Calypsonian in Dominica's history to win the coveted title of Calypso Monarch 6 times. With a voice so beautiful and stage presence so commanding, it is no surprise that King Dice is forging ahead in a resolve to conquer more varied and equally exciting musical frontiers. The National Cultural Council takes this opportunity to congratulate him on the release of his recent Color CD Heritage, done in collaboration with Fitzroy Williams. Ladies and gentlemen, special recognition award to Denison Dice Joseph for the promotion of Calypso.
Illness and registers its deepest appreciation for Lennox's outstanding contribution to the development and promotion of steel pan music. Claudine Charles, who is a member of the Mambo Steel Band, will collect the Special Recognition Award on behalf of Lennox Alexander.
Making Dominica shine.
In a festival in Carriacou, Birdie continues to provide training in traditional dance in his community.
With church musicians and calypsonians, and is highly valued adjudicator at choral music events. Special recognition award presented to Cedric Phillip.
The Golden Drum Awards presented by His Excellency the President Elud Williams went to L.U. Alexander for the preservation of traditional culture, Alfred Family of Girardel for the floriculture and the floral decoration, Purcell Christian for music, education and performance, Ian Jackson for music and creative writing, and Prosper Paris for the preservation of indigenous culture.
With the Golden Drum Award for your outstanding work in the area of the preservation of traditional arts.
To make your contribution to the development of the Nature Isles tourism industry, you have expanded your horizons by organizing garden tours for cruise ship visitors who are invariably charmed by your captivating product as well as your often noted pleasant manner. Now therefore, the National Cultural Council presents you with the Golden Drum Award for your praiseworthy contribution to Dominica's cultural development in the area of floriculture and floral decoration.
Royal Schools of Music practical and theoretical exams by voluntarily assisting with the registration of students as well as the circulation of information among various music studios. Now, therefore, the National Cultural Council presents you with the Golden Drum Award for your highly commendable contribution to cultural development in the area of music performance and education.
With the Golden Drum Award for your excellent service in the area of the development of creative writing.
Whereas for over 3 decades, you have been admirable in your commitment to the preservation and the promotion of Dominica's traditional culture, as you participate in the annual independence competitions with steady consistency and unmatched enthusiasm. Now, therefore, the National Cultural Council presents you with the Golden Drum Award for your outstanding work in the area of the preservation of indigenous culture.
There were performances from the Warner Jingping Band, Carifuna Cultural Group, Flamboyant Dancers, River Song, Pebush Drummers, Whitey Kubuli Dance Theatre Company, and King Dice.
Everything says these are the days. These are the days. Oh boy, these are the days. If you know it, you can sing it too, you know. That's the last section, we're gonna have some fun, you know. The dice band,
Other news. The DA Nice Summer Contest comes to an end this Wednesday, July 31st. Individuals interested are being reminded to post their photos and videos to Uncut Gems Facebook page to win a 2-night stay at Secret Bay and 3 other great prizes. Day Nice is a summer Facebook contest where individuals are required to send in a 2-minute video of Dominican natural resources and attributes or photograph. Co-creators of DA Nice, Miss Amma Francis and Miss Nona Lawrence, are reminding the public of the general concept, which is to display what Dominica has to offer worldwide. Everything takes place on DA's Nice Facebook page, www.facebook.com/uncutgem.de. Persons have until midnight today to submit their videos or photos onto the Facebook page. This is the first contest to be run of Uncut Gem. The Facebook contest was officially launched on Friday, June 21st. And in court news, a 26-year-old Haitian national who resides in Yampis was charged with battery and cruelty to a juvenile following an incident on Sunday, 29th July 2013. James Lapomerade, who appeared before Magistrate Candia George on Tuesday, July 30th, pled guilty to both charges. The facts of the case states that James, who lives with his 11-year-old stepdaughter while her mother is abroad, asked her to mop the floor and she refused. He then used the wire of a cell phone charger and beat her, which left marks all over her body. The child was taken to the Princess Margaret Hospital where she was examined. A report was made and James was arrested whilst investigations continued. Before handing now the sentence, Magistrate Candia George urged the defendant to be more rational and calm if similar incidents were to occur. He was charged $500 for both charges to be paid by August 31st, 2013, or in default, sentenced to 2 months imprisonment. This has been the local segment of the news. Coming up next, regional highlights.